Yeah. So I look at everyone around me as we're a home and we're bulbs in different rooms. People are annoying me. Everyone always asks me, when are you leaving Zimbabwe? Because I've had so many opportunities to leave the country.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if I leave, who's going to fight for my people?
Placebo effect.
3, 2, 1, action.
That's the clever board. Shafedek say, welcome to another episode of While We Wait, guys. While we wait, being a social commentary forum whereby we say, while we wait for your next big thing, come to let's sit down, let's talk about it. Like we are here, guys. And right now, like I'm trying to see if ever I'm getting goosebumps or something.
It's cold.
It's not cold. I'm in the presence. I'm in the presence of, guys, you guys do not understand. This guy is a thought leader. This guy is an entrepreneur. This guy is a CEO. This guy is, he said he doesn't want me to talk about the fashion, but then this guy is a fashion mogul, guys. And right now I'm in the midst of his presence. Gilmore T.
What's up?
Oh wait, what's
That's
good,
my
man?
camera. It's working, right?
What's good, man?
It's good to see you.
You alright, King?
Yeah.
Hey, I can see you actually drip. No. Let me go first. You're actually dripping, man. You're actually
I'm wearing
dripping.
a t-shirt and shorts. What not
Oh, so how have you been, man? How have you been?
I've been good, just busy, obviously working on so many projects.
For sure.
But just trying to balance, the projects and also just balance, the personal life, just balancing everything that has to do with life.
Oh wait. And we've been seeing the word, like, congratulations also on the Pichani.
Thank you.
And you've been doing great, like with so much big brands all across Africa, all across the world. Like with Jameson, we've been seeing that. And then there's the new activation, Jameson Connect Zim, that actually happened recently. Yeah, that was really crazy. Like it was an amazing experience because I got to attend the event. Yeah. So before we even delve into the details, so tell someone who's seeing Gilmore T for the first time today, who is Gilmore T? What's your government name, Baba?
So, I'm Gilmore Kawe Kumalo. Nkosi Kumalo. That's why I am born and raised Kobulayo. From a family of 4 children. I'm the last born, but I'm not the last born in terms of I'm a last born in terms of birth, but I think half the time I feel like I'm the first born in my family.
Breadwinner language, guys.
Not even breadwinner. It's just I think there's one of us is born with certain things. So when you are born from a family, there's stuff that is bestowed upon different people, and so I understand that, I embrace it, and I keep it moving. So I think it's the same even in the creative industry, that it's not shocking for me to be to find myself in a leading space. Not arrogance, but it's just humbly putting it out there. But because who I am, that's what I was born with. So I'm not supposed to be a tail at all. I'm always the head.
So as we keep on diving deeper into the details, so tell me about it. What exactly that it is that you do? Because you are a multifaceted, you're a multidisciplinary creative, if ever I can put it that way, and also tapping into the business aspect of things. So which brands exactly did you actually found, and which brands are you currently working in?
So what do I do? So my background is development. So I'm like NGO guy.
For sure.
So that's what I basically started doing. But I think while I was still in the development space, I still obviously had my creative side of things. So the writing, because I'm in media a lot, I'm in curatorship a lot, I'm in managing projects. So while I was in that space, I then realized that I just need the creative side of me to be pushed more. So that's why you find that in most of the cases I'm working with brands. So like, for example, Jameson Fastjet or MTV, GQ. I write for the GQ.
For sure.
So I work with them. They are big brands, right? But for me, it's like, how do I bring my creativity into it? Because I think when I was working in the AGO space, I really got like tired of being in the space. I'm not an 8 to 5 kind of guy. It's not my thing.
Okay.
Is there someone walking?
Nah, I think it's the ambiance.
Are you sure?
Should be the next room.
Oh,
yeah.
Getting
so,
it on.
yes, we are still getting it on. Yeah. So I think that was my next question. So out of 100%, which side would you say is the 9-to-5 guy? And which side, because one or the other, like you are so much into business, you being the CEO of Paperbag Africa and many other brands, including the Pichani.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
So how much of you is a 9-to-5 guy and how much of you is a freelancer creative?
I think 150% of me is a freelancer creative. I don't think I'm a 9-to-5. Actually, half the time I feel like I don't work. I feel like I'm living my life.
You're revolutionary.
Right, so I'm always saying that even as I'm doing projects, because I mean we've done projects like the European Film Festival. The Pichani is a baby of Paperbag Africa. So Paperbag is the mother of most of the projects that we do. So why it's called even Paperbag Africa is because in our Paperbag we're carrying African content projects in it. So that's why it's Paperbag Africa.
Okay.
So it's really up to us to choose what we want to do. So we do African projects in the African continent, and also people are annoying me.
And then I do what you do, bro.
I'm gonna do flight mode.
Guys, it's an honor that Gilmore is putting his phone, as busy as he is, he's putting his phone on flight mode for the podcast, guys. This is while we're waiting. You're actually chilling.
Can we edit this way? Because I'm a pastor's son.
No, we're going So we're still here on while we wait with Gilmore T.
What was I even talking about?
Yes, you were still talking about Paperbag Africa being the mother
I mean,
of.
I remember because I used to have like a different name for an agent, and then I thought I wasn't connecting to it, and then half the time it's almost like your name. If someone calls you with your name, you recognize it.
For sure.
Right. So if, for example, if I'm walking and someone says Kumalo, it's like too close to one. Like, who's calling me? You know what I mean? So with Paperbag Africa, I think. Every time someone says Paperbag, I even sometimes think, oh, they're calling us.
Oh, snap.
Because I think the name has really grown on us as a team. And again, we said it's Paperbag Africa because it's a paper bag and we choose to put
and
African
it contains
projects in it.
Okay.
So that's why we have the Pan-African Lifestyle cross-networking event, the Pichani. It's a baby. It's a baby in the paperback. It's one of our content. That's why you'd see us doing things like the European Film Festival, Zimbabwe. Yes, it's European Film Festival, but it's Zimbabwe at the end. So we really, I think, ever since I joined and I just left that. It's been 6 years I've been with them, but I just left.
Congratulations on that one.
Thank you. I decided to be a part of it because it was an opportunity to also push Zimbabwean filmmakers and African filmmakers using the platform. So for me, it's very much, I'm always thinking about how am I giving a voice to my people. And when I say my people, it doesn't mean my people from Bobolawa or my Ndebele people, but how am I giving a voice to a fellow Zimbabwean? How am I giving a voice to a Xhosa young girl who is in Bembesi? How am I giving a voice to Tonga boy who is in Binga? So for me, it has to make sense.
So if I can hold you there, speaking of that, there's one project that you actually introduced me to recently. Yeah, and you actually encapsulated everything that you're talking about. Talking about many people from different spaces of life coming into one. And the project is called I Wear My Culture. So please look it up on YouTube, guys. The project is out and the project is fire. It is fire. So take me through the creative process of how you actually came up with such a beautiful piece.
So I mean, funny enough, so I'm born of like two tribal groups. My mom is a Manyati, was born and raised Bobolawa, but a Shona girl from Busape.
Okay.
Right. And then she goes and gets married to a Kumalo, who's my father, from Filapuse Kwatemba. So growing up for me...
So I'm like,
I'm a colored. Exactly. Yeah, I'm a colored. But the weirdest thing, I think what informed Away My Culture, and what informs almost everything that I do is representation. For me, it's very important.
For sure.
I feel like people need to be seen, people need to be celebrated, people need to be heard, So with Away My Culture, I think from a very young age, I remember when you would spend time with the father side of the family, there's a lot of remarks made about the Shona people. Because remember, we're the Kumalo, so with the highest ranking in the Ndebele
clan,
right?
Kumar.
Exactly, right. So, and then when you spend time with the Shona side of the family, there's so much remarks being made about the Ndebele people. And things like tribalism, for me, I'm always saying that I've never experienced tribalism out of home. So when I say home, is like you experience it within the family, where there's remarks about you being Ndebele, and there's remarks about you being born of a Shona, whatever, when you're with a Shona woman, when you're with Ndebele people. So I always thought to myself, you know, if I have to experience these kind of remarks, and I'm from the two major groups in Zimbabwe, how about someone else who's Chewa, who is Ndao, or not Ndao, okay, Ndao maybe, someone who's Tonga, or who's Kalanga. And I was like, you know what, I want to do something that allows people to be seen, that allows people to celebrate who they are with so much pride. And through the project, so the project has been something I wanted to do since 2014.
Wow.
And then we only implemented it like, I think 2 years back.
Wow.
Because before I even do the project, I have to ask the question, why am I doing this? Where am I going to do it? What, you know, the W's and the H.
Yeah, for sure.
So what informed it is like, I felt like there's so many beautiful groups in Zimbabwe. There's 16 official languages in the country, actually.
Native languages.
But half the time we think it's Ndebele, Shona, and English. So I was like, I want to do something that allows people to be seen, and that celebrates who they are uniquely. Only to find out that my workmate for 4 years or 5 years, she's Tonga, but she's always hid it under being in Ndebele girl. And I asked her why, and she's like, because there's so much stereotypes about Tonga people, so every time I go somewhere else, I identify as Ndebele. And I found that very interesting, because I discovered that because of the project, which is like, oh my goodness, because we went to Binga, she's like, this is actually, I'm like, I didn't know you were Tonga. She's
so
like,
rich in culture.
I always hate it because there's too many stereotypes. So I wear my culture is basically, I love people to wear who they are with so much pride. And being Khoisan is incredible. Being Xhosa in Zimbabwe is incredible. Being Sotho, being Nambia is incredible. And you need to be able to go out there and wear who you are with so much pride. That's basically what it is.
It's so amazing how you guys communicated all of this using fabric and exactly. Even the sound on it. Exactly. The cinema is crazy. Who actually did the cinema on that project?
Yes, I have so much love for Prosper and Nicole.
Wow.
Because the funny thing is, like, the budget was not even much, but the project looks like it's like
that is international,
you know.
And I actually saw you guys actually got recognition like internationally.
Yes, in Russia just recently.
Hey.
So Prosper, I think when I shared, the thing is, like, when I'm working with people, I also we need to have a shared vision. And that's the thing, I also say to creatives that sometimes you actually don't need the financial power. Sometimes you need to have a shared vision, and people will come on board. I'm just going to divert. It goes even to the Pichani. When half the time when people come, like this year's Pichani, it was basically a shared vision. Like, Pichani is
but this Pichani, you guys actually have the financial power. These guys pulled Lamborghinis. If you see the runway of everything that people were wearing, like the texture, the colors, that was beautiful. Like, how do you come up with such experiences? Like, how long does it take for you to actually deliver a product like the Pichani? Because that is international standard.
Pichani is a year. We start planning on Pichani, like we finished Pichani in October.
Yeah.
We're already planning for next year. So half the time when people see and they come, they spend from 4 to 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Actually, this time they left at 3 a.m. That is almost a whole year of planning, right? But for, again, like I said, the same with Away My Culture. Pichani is there to just shine a light on young leaders that are doing incredible stuff across different platforms.
Beautiful.
So if you're in the creative space, in the diplomatic space, in the civic space, in business, entrepreneur, whatever, as long as you're pushing, you are a damn CEO and you're incredible, and Pichani is there to celebrate you. So it's a cross-networking platform that brings us incredible people in one space. So half the time as Black people and Black Africans especially, we are always looking elsewhere for solutions. We're looking east, west. We want the West to help us. But how often do we look at each other and see value in each other? That's what the Pichani is about.
Beautiful, guys, dropping gems. In his words, how do you see value in each other if ever we keep on seeing value outside? Guys, this is While We Wait. We're still chilled with the UrbanMilitant right here with Gilmore. Catch us after the break for more. Bah.
The National Arts Merit Awards presents the 4th annual Nama Golf Day. This year, the competition will take place at the Bulawayo Golf Club in the City of Kings, Kwantutu Ziatunga. Green fees are $40 per person on an individual stableford format. Any golfers who are practicing artists will play for free. There are opportunities for your company to sponsor and get valuable brand visibility. Contact Michelle on 0776 330-513 for more information. The Nama Golf Day, where art meets sports and business. #Kwantutu.
PPP. I promised you guys I'm still to get the PPP, but then for now I'll be doing the PPP. Welcome back to another episode, guys. I'm still here on Huawei Wait, chilling with the man, the myth, the legend, Okumalu, Okao. Yeah, but I actually like your second name, bro. And I actually wanted to figure out that is really your second name, right? Yeah, shout out. So I'm cute, you're cute.
I'm cute too.
Yeah.
So I'm literally GQ Kumara.
Oh snap! Double entendre.
And I write for the GQ magazine.
Hey, shout out. So, as you have been like, there's a lot of people that you actually put on, if I can put it that way. Yeah. I've seen articles of people from Goblawa, like basically I've seen ASAP on GQ. So take me through about other people that you've actually got to feature on GQ, because that's a very huge platform, international, and we cannot just ignore and say that happened and then we just forget. So outside of ASAP, which other people your favorites? And
I think I had such an incredible conversation with House of Store, Danai Balondo. Such an incredible creative in Zimbabwe. I think the future of Danai is Zimbabwean fashion. There's no future, there's future obviously with fashion design, there's no shade, but I'm saying Danai is Zimbabwean fashion.
For real.
I like how she sort of like still digs deep into, I'm a Shona girl who comes from this area, but also my belief is I'm a Christian girl, and she takes that, the inspiration from, the Bible stories, and she says also, where do I come in, where my aunts, my grandmothers, my forefathers, how they used to do stuff, and she merges that into fashion. So I had the privilege to working with her when we went to Nigeria for one of the biggest fashion shows in Africa, and I was doing PR for House of Stone that time. So she actually called me. We met for the first time at the airport, because she's like, brah, I need you to come with me because you're the only person who's able to push in terms of PR. And I traveled with her, and she was explaining to me on her process when she's creating stuff, and I was like, this girl is out of this world. So she's one of the persons that when I had an interview with on GQ, we had like 5 pages of her content that I typed out, and I had to compress it to almost like a page.
Which was very hard.
It was so hard because her story is so out of this world. I've enjoyed talking to Graham Sharp. He's a biker. He's from he's in Kariba, I think, or he's from Harare, Kariba, but he's a biker. I've spoken to so many other people.
You've been doing a lot of work.
I've spoken to a lot of people, but I think that nice conversation is always outstanding, and I'm not saying there's anything better about the other ones. I've also just equally enjoyed, but it's stuck in my head because what I like, I think, when I'm writing is like, let's just go back to where were you born? What did you want to do when you were a child? How has it changed to who you are? What influences your work? And we touch on so many things, and I think I found it so exciting just talking to her. So again, it goes back to my calling. I'm a connector. I'm a connector. That's what I'm called for. I build bridges. That's why I find that I'll bring creatives on when I'm working with the EuroFilm Festival. I'll bring creatives on when we're doing the Pichani. There's a lot of performances and fashion show. There's so much that happens at the Pichani.
And Lamborghinis.
And Lamborghinis, of course. And Ferraris last year. I don't know what next year is gonna have, but the idea is, for me, you find that there's always like a big brand that I work with, but there's always creativity involved. So my purpose is I'm a hero. I need to fight. So my fight is not about me. It's for people to have a voice.
Damn. So in my head,
they have a voice. They just want their voices to be heard.
In my head, I'm out here trying to summarize all of this into, and bro, really, when I look at you and your lifestyle and the landscape of your lifestyle, you're a rock star, bro.
Thank you.
You are a rock star. Like you live a life that someone can just look at and be like, yo, I would actually want to actually partner with Jameson. I would like to write for GQ, and I want to have tattoos like you, bro. So then, getting into that. So you being a cultural rock star, like being invested so much, because most of your work is actually inspired by culture, and you are so big on this culture thing.
And who we are.
So if I can change it a bit, where do you find yourself spiritually Yeah, njengo Khumalo,
Yeah.
like, do you connect to Christian values, or you're connected to ATR, or you have other values? You get it? So where do you find yourself spiritually? Do you even go to church, bro?
Yes, I go to church. I actually do. But ultimately, I strongly believe in God. There's like God above everything else. And I think those that have worked with me on projects, especially projects that I curate and I head them, they would know that at the end of it, like when we are done with Pichani and we've done setting up, which takes 5 days to set up, we all just hold hands, because it's like we have like over 50 people putting Pichani together every single year. We hold hands and we pray, but obviously I acknowledge, like, listen, if you don't believe in what I believe in, it's okay for you to step aside. Because I strongly respect people and their beliefs. I mean, I spent 2 years in Senegal, where it's an Islamic country, and I learned so much about Muslims. But one thing that I realized, which is so funny, is ultimately we all go back to the same God.
To the same God, yeah. There's one God.
We just have different names for it. And funny enough, with our way in my culture, I started discovering a lot of stuff like Shona people. The Shona group is very strong at Mwari, like Mwari.
Yeah.
How they worship Mwari is in their own ways, but back in the day, people still go to the mountains and worship Mwari, because we all believe that there's God. But it's just that there's different ways we define who Mwari is to us. So for me, it was a uzila, if you understand what that is, very important. And Mangizila sometimes it's not even uzila, just like it's like fasting, but keep everything, because I need to spend. I think for me, my spiritual life is very important. To the
it's a sacred space.
I'm very protective, and I have boundaries when it comes to me as a person. I'm a spiritual being. We're all spiritual beings.
We're all spiritual beings, for sure.
And we're all God's, the small G, right, in our own right.
Experiencing the physical life,
right? Because we create
out of nothing.
Yeah. So the fact that you're a creative, I think most creatives, what Pakistani was saying to me the other time, was most of the times most creatives don't realize what Ubongoma. And Ubongoma is, you know, we all have different levels of Ubongoma as creatives. Because the fact that I call myself a curator, there's a God in me that allows me to curate things. So I bring life to things.
You give
so
life
the power
to things.
is also given to me to birth things. So that you can only really manifest that and push that more. With most artists, if you look at them, there's most of the successful artists, why they would sing and you would cry is because
that spiritual connection,
serving something through music. They're serving something through art. They're saving something through writing. I remember DJ Zandi Myers, when I wrote an article about her, she sent a voice note and she was like, no one has ever told my story in such a dignified manner. Thank you. And I was like, oh, I was just writing, and then I realized Ibongo Mabami Ibongo Mabami is when I'm creating stuff. I bring life when I'm writing. So when you write, you bring a story, you bring life to someone's story through your pen. So we're all called to curate things, to create things, but at different levels.
So me drawing the line in between, which one would you be? The baptized Gilmore, or Kungatiwa Melio Twas? You will take that.
I don't think it's so weird, because it's funny enough, I am surrounded by a lot of pastors and sometimes when I meet someone new, I find that they're Isango. So I realize that spirituality connects somehow somewhere. Someone will see you.
So it's not religion, it's spirituality.
It's spirituality. Because religion is waking up and going to church. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person.
All right. And then before you actually highlighted that one of your parents is a pastor.
No, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. It's just it's so funny, because I'm always saying to people, every time I go to different spaces, some I'm going to become friends with the pastor, or I'm going to become friends with doctors, lawyers, or umuntu or twasai. Half the time when I discover this, someone's like, oh yeah, I'm a sangoma, or nyatwasa, I'm a spiritual healer, I'm a dreamer, whatever. And I find that fascinating, because I have so much of that. So I'm realizing spirituality attracts. You connect to a certain level. Like I see you, you see me.
For sure.
You would have seen
beyond physical.
Seen you. Beyond physical. You get into space. You just don't randomly go to someone and talk to them. Spirit would have connected and you go to that person. So somewhere the spirit realm, I think, is quite intense.
And I've been having this conversation with someone, I think for the past few days, whereby they were telling me about energy. How someone can actually get into a room and change the mood.
Exactly.
So before you even see a person, Noma Okangele this side, and then someone walks in, you can feel that someone of a different energy. And you got that, bro. You actually got that.
Thank you. It's so funny you say that. Because I think for me, I invest so much time into me. So, for example, when my team knows when I'm doing things like Pichani or big projects, Nias keep so that would mean like I can disappear for like a week. It doesn't mean I'm not there, but I'm there. But I think I need to be in the right space to connect and to feed my spirit with things that are going to help me go out and conquer, right? So I do a lot of that, and there's a time when I went into a space. I was in the UK, I think it was in Manchester, and then I walked into a space, and then this girl says to me, "Yo, I felt you when you walked in." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" But I understand it now.
Yeah,
because
like
before I always used to
it's
get
an
confused,
energy
like,
thing.
What are people talking about? But now I understand it so much that when she's like, "I felt you."
Yeah.
Only to find out she's Sangoma and she's from Cape Town. But she says, "I felt you," because when you walk in with very authoritative energy and clean energy. You can't be missed. And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then she's like, "Yeah, I felt you." And the funny thing, when I walked in, I think she was sitting. There were so many other people. I went and I sat next to her.
And you guys hadn't talked about it?
We hadn't talked. We were meeting for the first time.
Whoa.
So she started telling me that like when you walked in, I felt there's like people behind. So that's why I'm always saying to people. That's why I want to know what because apart from me having a name, I come from a place where there's people.
Clan.
That's
clan
our
names.
Ancestors. Our ancestry is very important. So when I introduce myself, right. So I'm and those that have lived before me, I will walk with them. So that's why it's always important. Like, funny enough, the guy, my stories are too many. The gentleman who picked me up going to the Jameson connects the driver. Bless his soul, Udlamini. He picked me up and then he was using his first name. I hope I can mention Clement. And then I said to him, okay, we started talking. And then I was like, Dada, no, the Clements require. And then he said to me, Zamini. And I was like, yeah, I need to acknowledge you and where you come from, because when we are walking in spaces, we're a representative of where we come from.
Like someone actually summarized it to saying you are the latest update of 16, for example, 16 million years of data.
Exactly.
So which means the first Kumar gave the DNA and the information to the next Kumar. So all of that accumulated to create you. So which means all of the information that you're seeking for, you'll be having it within you. So then, but then with the lifestyle that you curated for yourself, with the lifestyle that you live, you get it. How do you balance the extrovert in you? Because bro, you are always exposed to a lot of people. And then your spirituality. Where do you detach, or how do you put the two together?
So it's so funny when I'm taking up projects. I think for me, they have to speak to me. When I'm supposed to be part of something, I know I'm supposed to be a part of it. If I was not supposed to have an interview with your conversation, it was not gonna happen.
Please, bro.
It was not gonna happen. And the funny thing is, I think for me, my God and those that have come before me, they always fight. Like for me to be in spaces, it's like. I'm supposed to be in that space. Right.
It's
so
meant to happen.
know I sometimes I know it and I can feel it when I'm supposed to be part of something. And if I'm not supposed to be part of it, I detach. I've dropped so many other projects with people like, what do you mean? Like for example, I was just talking about the European film. So I've been doing that for 6 years.
For sure.
But I think last year I already detached from it. But I told myself I'm going to do one more last year, and I'm going to put my all into it and move on to the next thing. Incredible platform, but my time is up.
And you did that so well.
My time is up, so I had to leave so that I can open doors for other things. You need to learn sort of the power of no increases so many yeses in your life. The power of letting go. Let go, and then when you've let go, everything else that has been waiting to come in starts running to you. So I've understood that very well. So again, in terms of like when you're saying balancing, everything I take up, I know I'm supposed to be a part of it. I stay in Blair, but half the time nobody knows that I'm in Blair.
Because you're always traveling. Like
I'm always traveling, but I can actually be in Blair for 3 months and you won't know I'm around. So for me, it's like I because I understand that again, like I said, there's a God of gods, the small gods being us. I understand where I need to take my presence into. So I always say access to my energy is a privilege.
Bliss.
Access to your energy right now is a privilege to me.
Ooh.
So it's a two-way thing. So it's not about it's a privilege for you or it's a privilege.
It's a two-way thing.
But it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
And again, going back to how do we look at each other and see value?
As Africans.
And as black people also, because half the time we're always peeping. But
outside.
What we actually need is
within
us.
Jams.
That's that. That's that. So I try to take things that I think I'm supposed to go and it's not even arrogance, but I'm like, my presence is very important, and I know that I'm very important, and you are incredibly important. That's why every time I meet people, I call them superstars. Because you are a star. It's only that sometimes your star is not shining because it's cloudy. But it doesn't mean you're not a star.
You're always
cloudy.
a star.
You've always been a star, but your star is hidden behind this curtain. The moment someone opens it,
so you always have it within
you. Always have it. So I have superstars all the time.
That's powerful.
Like,
that's powerful.
Being your presence is such incredible, you know. And we're all superstars in our very own right.
So, like looking at the stage where you are in life currently, like I'm still trying to ask myself, if ever you are there, who do you look up to? Like starting from Zim, like are there any people that you actually look up to and you're like, I actually want to reach such a pedestal? And then outside of Zim, of course, internationally.
I don't even like to put myself under pressure. But I would say what makes me actually achieve more is my understanding of where I'm coming from, who I'm representing, what's at stake.
Okay.
The power in me comes in and it has to fight for every other person. Right? It has to fight for me first, but it has to fight for everyone else. So I think I've never really like put. There's people I look up to and I was like, oh, these are dope. I love their business model, like Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
He's American Idol.
Ryan Seacrest, yes.
He's also like a producer for many shows.
Okay.
I just like his business model. But I think I would say every now and again when I'm doing something, I'm thinking to myself, how am I making my people proud?
Okay.
Because I'm my ancestors' wildest dream, right? So am I actually living my wildest dream? Am I making them go wild wherever they are when they look at me and say, oh damn, did you see what they did?
The latest update.
Exactly. So and I think again for me the question is how am I making my mother? Because I was raised by my mom.
Okay.
And my granny and a lot of women around. And I'm always asking myself, how would my mother feel when I do this? Okay. So that always pushes me to do
that's
so
your
much
drive.
more. That's what drives me every single day. But at the same time, I look at everyone. I think there's a lot of people in Zimbabwe doing incredible stuff. Again, that's why I'd be like when I bump into people and I say superstar, it's actually not for mockery. It's the fact that you're such an incredible person. I saw Nati yesterday. He's like, I'm so excited. After I performed, he comes and we hug, and then he's like, we need to talk. And I just think he's an incredible superstar.
Very much international standard.
Everybody who was there also is an incredible superstar. So I never try to put a ceiling, because if I take you and I put you as my person, as my where I want to go, it becomes my limit. My strongest belief is every one of us is a superstar. We just need to find our spots where we're supposed to shine the most. Right. So I might be the light in the toilet. If I'm not doing my job, ain't nobody's gonna get in there to take a poo.
Exactly.
Right. If I'm not doing my job in the kitchen, no one is gonna be able to find the food. So I look at everyone around me as we're at home and we're bulbs in different rooms. I might be in the veranda. So if that bulb in the veranda is off, it means that house is not well lit. So your bulb, which is in the pantry, you better light it, because this house is not going to be well lit if you're not doing your job. So we all have our own blends. We just need to make sure we look at other people's and it's like, oh, I like how they patch their tar. But don't spend too much time on it, because while yours is on potholes, I'm focusing on your tar. So maybe let me see the inspiration from like, oh damn, I like that he used actually tar and gravel or whatever. Let me go do the same for my own path, because if you don't walk your path, it's going to be weedy better. So who's going to walk it?
In the words of Ukumalo, Ukumalo uti hlala ulit, be it uita or your potholes, but hlala ulit.
Exactly.
Okay, bro. So almost in conclusion. So give us your affirmation. Where do you see Gilmore in the next 5 or 10 years? Because my affirmation, bro, is seeing you on. While we wait for that, my affirmation is seeing you on Times Square. I don't know why. On Time Magazine, on Forbes, such big platforms, bro, because you are putting in the work. But then I want to understand from your work ethic and your vision, where do you see yourself in the next coming 5 or 10?
I see myself bringing. Everyone always asks me, when are you leaving Zimbabwe? Because I've had so many opportunities to leave the country.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if I leave, who's gonna fight for my people?
Ooh, if not how?
Yeah. So who's gonna fight for my people? So I see myself bringing all these major brands into the country and doing projects with them. And I think I've already started doing that, you know.
Yeah.
For the first time ever with the MTV Staying Alive Foundation, bringing MTV Sugar into Zim.
Yeah.
And I was part of it 2017, and we were working with MTV Sugar. For the first time ever, there's a time that Idris Alba, however you want to call it, was hosting the Africa Benefit Concert with MTV and YouTube, and Miss Red and I were the Zimbabwean representatives on there.
I watched that.
All these many celebrities and huge people.
Sakodis and
right?
yeah.
And then for me, that's it. I'm supposed to bring the world. I'm supposed to connect, you know, all these big
back home.
Okay. Again, you write for the GQ magazine. There's more people now that are writing for the zine, and I love that. There's so many other projects that are going to come to soon. I mean, the European Film Festival, it's European Film Festival. So for me, that's why I say I'm a global citizen, because I'm going to keep doing global work wherever I am, because I'm a global citizen.
And also making home shine.
Yeah. So I'm a global citizen, so anywhere I can work. And I don't need to go and stay in Germany or in the UK or in wherever. I can go and visit there. Because if I leave, who's gonna fight for my people?
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, so on the podcast, like, we have a culture of doing trivia. You get it? So I get to shout out random names. Yeah, random names or random things. And then as fast as you can, you just tell me what comes to mind. No. So I think I'll mostly leaned to go Blaue because we've never done a Blaue trivia. So I'll also be coming up with random names from the top of my head.
But also don't box me because I'm more than Blaue.
Okay. But then currently no one has the street knowledge of Bulawayo more than you do, bro. Like, your network is so wide. Yeah, like I'm so amazed every time. Like, the people that I know, all of them know you, and most of them like everyone knows you, bro. It's a very big network that you have. And speaking of that, starting from there, tell me about Asaph.
Incredible hip-hop artist from the City of Kings, doing his level best to shine a light on the people.
Okay. Pichani.
Pan-African lifestyle cross-networking platform. The biggest dress-up event in the country.
Okay, so let's go to, if ever I say Zimbabwe, what comes to your mind?
Stress, opportunities, and so much love.
Beautiful. Taking it back home, let me say, what type of music did you grow up on?
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
A lot. I think alternative music. We used to listen to a lot of what's called Boys to Men. I remember Boys to Men, Your Monica, Your Brandy. I remember going to school that would play in the morning. One of our next door neighbors, they're literally my family. The girls, there's a family of 10 girls. They would just come and bring the what's called tapes, the VCR. And then
the video tapes.
They would want to watch Westlife, etc. So there was like a lot of Westlife.
I remember all of that. Like, we used to have lyric books where we used to write those things.
There's a lot of gospel because I was raised like in a hectic, strong Christian family. And just a lot of like very exposed to like Western music.
Okay.
Yeah, and also Mafikizo and Malaikas, Chuoniso Maraire.
Okay.
Amazing.
Another name, Quantum Slang.
Wow, you know, damn, may so rest in peace. That was my friend. That was my friend. I have like a lot of old friends around me. Like, I have a lot of old people.
You hang around with the Khutman?
Yeah. So Quantum Slang would always say, kill, who's on Bona Pilamgan? And then he'll go there and spend so much time talking. And people will never understand like how, and then he always says to me, I see so much in you. And we end up being friends. The same way I would say, Ubabu Pesanyat is
that was the next name I was about to drop.
So I'm so blessed that I've had the opportunity to have known Quant. and on a very personal level. And you know, even when I would travel to Vic Falls, he liked Coca-Cola, so I would bring him Coca-Cola.
Hey, may his soul rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. And then you actually dropped the name that I wanted to drop next. Uba Patisanyat.
An ocean of knowledge. That's it.
Hey, that is the biggest landmark that you can ever find. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Anyways, bro, like it was crazy having this conversation with you, man. I got to learn a lot. I got to learn a lot about you beyond the brands that you work with, and I got to know you as a person. Yeah. And I didn't know that rock stars are actually spiritual. Guys,
you gotta have somewhere. You gotta have a source that keeps you calm. That's
for sure.
The thing, because for me, like I'm saying, it was keep Bantu.
For sure.
It's part of my just taking care of myself, and because you know the world is full of a lot of things
and noise.
There's a lot of noise, but I think for me, funny enough, I even have like one of my tattoos, Be Still and Know That I'm God.
Which one is this one?
So it's this one.
Okay, that's Be Still and Know That I'm God.
Yeah. So I think I've learned to have so much stillness.
Okay.
With so much stillness, it's allowed me to know when I'm supposed to be in a place and when I'm not supposed to be in a place, and I will know instantly when I'm not supposed to be in a place. Even with the project, I know when I'm not supposed to do it.
You can feel it.
I can feel it. And funny enough,
Drop it, my guy. Drop it. Funny enough,
it's just also because half the time I know, and it sounds like it's very arrogant, but it's just like, because I'm so aware of stuff, I can come into a space and now I know what's
and you feel like.
You know? So I think just the fact that I invest in my spiritual life, I pray, I meditate, I skip a band here and there. I'm always aware of a lot of things.
And you are famous.
And I'm famous.
I don't know where they get in, but yeah, bro, yeah.
I know someone's like, oh, you're famous. I'm like, no, it's actually crazy. I think the work I do has taken me to where I am. People know a lot about my work.
Okay.
And it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing because the gifting that I've been given to connect and to build bridges has taken me into so many spaces that when they look at you, like, oh, megastar. Like someone was like to me, so Jameson, people flew you into Harare. Booked you in a hotel.
Yes, man.
You're the only person from Malawi to be doing influencer work for the Connect. I'm like, yeah, because that's what my star.
Your work precedes you. That's where your work is taking.
But also that's where my star shines.
And you're out here shining there.
And the thing is that because also sometimes people make you feel like, especially coming from a place like Bulawayo, there's very few people that are doing stuff outside. And when you are doing stuff, you're supposed to feel some type of way, some sort of like guilt. And I'm just like, no, I actually need to embrace this fully because my light is shining for me and my God is just shining for me. So I should not be apologetic about it, So if it was XQ Gemma, Misread, Gilmore, dope.
That's the lineup.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Because it's where I
I know you didn't want me to ask this, but then here I am, guys. I always bring you the juice, bro. You have an attention to detail.
Yeah.
You have an eye, like literally.
I look like a pie.
Literally, I'm out here checking your combos and all the fits. Yeah, bro. Like you really have an attention to detail. That is amazing.
Thank you.
And that is
deliberate.
Yes. So where do you get that?
So I've always, funny enough, I knew I was going to be in the creative space when I was like in grade 6. So that was 11 years old. In school, Emma Kenson. So in primary school, I was actually known for writing very good compositions and painting. Painting, right? So I remember when I would write, Mrs. Square would teach can you come and read this composition that Gilmore wrote about you or about whatever? It's so good. So already that kicked in. And it's funny enough, when I was in grade 6, my art piece that I painted was showcased at the National Gallery in Bulawayo, right?
Whoa, grade 6.
As part of the schools, whatever, like I think it was like a school's exhibition for different schools. And then funny enough, years later, I've been spending so much time at the National Gallery, and we even had an office at the National Gallery.
The paper bag,
and it's so funny how God will show you where you're supposed to be. Like everything that you're supposed to be, you already know it.
The dots will connect.
Not paying attention.
My light is loud.
I'm not even saying you, but I'm just saying all of us, we're not paying attention.
But you have seen the vision.
we already know. It's like when you're getting out of the house and you're like, but like, you know, so, and then you hear, oh, there was an accident. Like your spirit man always knows, and half the time we already know what's gonna happen in our lives, but we're not paying attention.
Yeah. So you just need to focus on that.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, oh damn! I started actually this journey when I was 11 years old, writing, painting. I did like a cover for the British Council project. I painted the cover for them, and when I tell people like I was the best art student in my school, people are like, ask my teacher, Mr. Sayers, I would always, my art, like in terms of art, I would have A's, I would draw and do stuff. It's just that I think that's where now I have the attention to detail.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes from there. I'm not a practicing visual artist, but I've always been like the best.
And you're still invested into it like full time, indirectly, of course.
Indirectly. So there's a lot of things that I used to do or that I was so good at. They always come in differently. Like I used to do music in school. People that I sing now, I used to sing with them in school. And I was a choir leader in school, right? But I don't practice it. But half the time I can hear.
You are aware. You're conscious.
When someone is singing, I'm just like, you are off tune. Or hey, where are the backing vocalists?
So should we expect an EP?
No, everyone always asks me the same question. Like people that I've
when are you dropping the EP?
Because they're famous singers. I'm just like, damn. That's why you find sometimes I have a lot of all these very famous people around because we've met somewhere else.
And you share the same
arts,
language.
You know. So it's just something I think in my life I would love to be involved in music, but a bit more on composition and arrangements.
Okay. Yeah, you have that in you. You have that in you.
I'm a curator.
And a business, man.
I'm a curator. So if let's say if you decide to start doing your boom 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 singing, just let me know and I'll curate like a very nice ambience. Like Solange knows, I think she's incredible how she interprets her music. Even Kanye, how he interprets his music, I just find it. And Masejo
is crazy. Saki is beautiful.
Zoe, Simpiwe
Dana is amazing.
The way they just curate an ambience, because you know it's an experience.
It's a body of work. It's not.
I would love to be that person.
Ooh.
To raise stuff like that for people, like a musical experience.
Guys, in the comments, tag these people, guys. These are amazing people out here doing amazing things, and we are still here on While We Wait to Chill with the Urban Militant, and it's been an amazing conversation. I believe, bro. So you actually agreed that we are still here to do a part 2.
Yeah,
you pick the place.
So
you pick the place. If you want us to go to Njelele, Amsterdam, Paris, or Chabadan, we can go. Yeah. So guys, it's been an amazing conversation with Gilmore T, guys. Put the comments below if ever you have any questions for him, and please go to his social media pages, check this guy's work. And guys, we need to support our own. We need to see the value in our own people. In conclusion, anything that you want to say, and today I want you to close my show. I don't know how you're gonna close the show.
Thank you very much.
But just say While We Wait and like, subscribe, and share all of those things.
Make sure that you While We Wait.
While We Wait.
So thank you very much for joining us on While We Wait. Make sure you subscribe and you click that. I don't know where the button is. It's somewhere there for any alerts. We'll be joining you again next time. Same time, same place.
Same time, same place, guys.
My name is Gilmore T, and remember that you need to allow your light to shine in whatever space that you are in. You might be in the kitchen, you might be in the pantry, you might be in the sitting room or in the bedroom. You need to light, because if we switch off your light in the bedroom, the house is not well lit. So you have to take your part.
And also your social media pages, drop them quick.
Alright, you can follow me at Gilmore T-E-E. Bye.
Bless, guys. I've been the Urban Militant. It has been an amazing experience. While We Wait podcast to the people every Wednesday. You'll find us live.
Beautiful,
bro.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Come on.